Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all healthy and safe at home. We shall start a new section, section 9.10 of our syllabus, double integrals. So, we have done the property of various line integrals and how we had geometrically interpreted the concept of line integral. We considered the real line, we partitioned it into subintervals, and then corresponding to each subinterval we chose a point xk, yk and the corresponding difference delta xk, and we formed the sum and found a partition. This was just the idea behind the concept of the line integral. Now here we are moving on to the concept of double integral. So for that, what we'll do is we will first consider the function z is equal to f of xy, and it is well defined in the given region R of a 2 space. Okay, and then what we are going to do is, instead of partitioning the interval, we are going to partition the region. We are considering the function which is defined in a region R. So what we are going to do is, by means of vertical and horizontal lines which are parallel to the coordinate axis, we have two axes, x-axis and y-axis. So horizontal and vertical lines which are parallel to these axes will form a grid. Okay, just like a graph paper, that is the grid. So parallel to the coordinate axis, and we'll form a partition of the region into n. Instead of subintervals, we have rectangular sub-regions Rk, and each of which have area delta ak. Okay, if we just compare with the line integral which we had done, we partitioned the interval into subintervals. Here it will be sub-regions Rk, and there we had considered delta xk. Here we will consider delta ak, which is the area of each rectangular sub-region. Okay, we must one thing we must note is that we have to partition it into n sub-regions which lie inside R itself. It should not go outside the region. Then what we do, we have norm P. The terminology norm was considered to be the norm of the partition. Here it will be the length of the longest diagonal of Rk. In line integrals it was length of the largest subinterval. Here it will be the length of the longest diagonal. Since we are considering rectangular regions, each diagonal may be different. So we are going to choose norm P to be the length of the longest diagonal of Rk. Then we will choose a sample point xk star, yk star in each sub-region Rk, and we will form the summation k equal to 1 to n f of xk star yk star into delta ak. So this is how we are having we form this sum. We will partition the region into sub-regions, n rectangular sub-regions, and we will choose norm P to be the length of the longest diagonal, and then we will choose a sample point in each sub-region and form the sum. So what will be the double integral? The double integral of f over R will be nothing but limit norm P tends to 0, summation k equal to 1 to n f of xk star yk star delta ak. So I'll just show how the figure would be, like how can we form the grid of a region and all. So if we are given, first of all we'll consider two axes, our x-axis and the y-axis. This is our x-axis, right, and this is our y-axis. And what we'll form, we are given a region, say this is our region R. What we'll do is we'll choose we are going to partition this region into rectangular sub-regions, right. There we partition the interval. Here we will be partitioning it into rectangular sub-regions. So just remember, it might be a mess, but still I hope you guys can make a figure. So in this, if we choose any, say if I am choosing this particular rectangle, if I am choosing this rectangle, okay, and this will have any particular diagonal, and also we are choosing a point here, xk star and yk star, any arbitrary point in that particular region. And what we will do, we will form f of xk star yk star, and this is this region will have the area delta ak, and we will form the summation, and that is how we will interrupt the concept of double integral. So double integral is nothing but limit norm p tends to 0 summation k equal to 1 to n f of xk star comma yk star into delta ak, where norm p and our function delta ak will be the area and all. So this is how the concept of double integral comes into picture. Now there is a terminology called integrability. When do we say that a function is integrable or not? That is, if that particular limit, the limit that we had calculated or we had seen in the previous slide, if that limit exists, then we say that the function is integrable over R. And what will be R? R will be the region of integration. Okay, if the limit exists, the function will be integrable and R will be the region of integration. And there is a note that you can see, that is, if the function is continuous, then it will definitely be integrable. Okay, if we are given any continuous function, then the limit will exist as usual, or limit will exist because it is continuous, and thus the function will necessarily be integrable over the region R. Next we will move on to the definition of area. It is just simple. If we consider the function f of xy to be 1 everywhere, for every x and y, if f of xy is constant function equal to 1, then what will be the double integral formula be? The double integral will be double integral, instead of f of xy it is 1, right? Also, if we see this summation, it will be limit norm p tends to 0 summation k equal to 1 to n delta ak. There is no other function value because it is 1. So actually what happens is, the region which we are considering, we are getting the area of each rectangle, and thus we will get the area of the entire region, right? If we see in this figure, if the function is 1, then we are getting the area of each rectangle, this portion, and similarly we will get the area of each rectangle, and thus we will get the area of this entire region, right? So once we get the area, that will be the double integral will actually give the area of the particular region. So now let's move on to the next definition, that is of volume. So in case of volume, we are going to consider f of xy is greater than equal to 0. Okay, so till now first I'll just give you the idea behind it, and then we will move on to the picturization of it. So if f of xy is greater than equal to 0, then we can interrupt this product, that is f of xk star into yk star into delta ak, we can be considered as the volume of a rectangular prism of height f of xk star yk star and the base area delta ak. So let's see how that will be like in our picture. We'll see, we can see that this, if we consider any region, and if suppose that z is equal to f of xk is f of xy is greater than equal to 0, that is, it lies above the xy axis. So how will the picture come out to be? Draw the three axes. One is z axis, the other will be x, and the other one is y. Okay, so in the previous case we had considered just the xy plane. So if you are considering any region over here, okay, this is our surface, z is equal to f of xy. It is greater, z is greater than or equal to 0, so it can be anywhere in this region. Then we had considered our portion, or R was supposed here, and if we had partitioned each the R into n rectangular subregions, right? So if we see any particular let me just finish this up. Okay, the rest you can see. So if you see any particular rectangle, just choose this one, then the corresponding image will be, it will be a prism, right? A rectangular prism of this form, right? This is the surface. So the height of this prism will be nothing but this value. And what is this? This is f of xk star. If I am choosing a point xk star, yk star, it will be xk star into yk star, and the base will be the area which we had considered, the area delta ak. So the product f of xk star yk star into delta ak will give us the volume of particular rectangular prism, right? So once we know, now if we consider the particular volume which is given to us, then the summation of these volumes, that is summation k equal to 1 to n f of xk star yk star into delta ak, it will be approximately the volume of the solid, okay, above the region R and below the surface, that is lying between the region R and the surface z is equal to f of x1. So that is, if we are tending as usual, norm p tends to 0, if that limit exists, limit of that sum exists, then the double integral f of xy dA will actually give us the volume. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss for today. That is, we had done the concept of double integral by partitioning the region into n rectangular subregions, and then we discussed about area. Area is occurring when f of xy is 1, and the concept of volume. Volume happens when f of xy is greater than or equal to 0. We can form rectangular prisms, and thereby the summation of all these rectangular prisms will give the summation, will give us the volume of the region between the region R and the surface z is equal to f of xy. So the area, the volume, everything is double integral given conditions for f of xy. Okay, so that's it. With this we shall wind up today's session. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.